I mean, so I think that we start the session with Professor Branco Gustavo to say some words. And I think we have your slides here, right?
Okay, yes. This can get this. Good here, no problem. And the Oops, right. Okay. Okay. So I'm very happy to be here to celebrate George Fest. Okay. I met George about 40 years ago. 40 is a special number, somehow, I don't know why. And at the time we were dreaming of organizing a series of meetings called, I remember correctly, if I remember correctly, we wanted to call these meetings Southern European particle physics schools or workshops, that was something. And George, realized this dream in Corfu, At the time, and still today, George's dream was to have an institute where physicists would come and not only participate in workshops, but also to have an office to work. So this idea of building, it started 40 years ago. Already George had this dream. If I have to pinpoint, of course, George has many qualities. If I want to choose one quality, is perseverance and belief. If a politician says no to George, he can say no. But next year, George will come with the same belief and the same thing, asking the same thing. That can last for 40 years, but he will come back always believing that it is possible. That's a great quality, to believe, because not only you may pretend to believe, but the important thing is that George believes, in this. I think it's a fantastic thing. So what is the next thing? In order to have for this thing to be realized, it was necessary to have a venue where office space could be available, because George didn't want only just a workshop and schools, but also a place where people could work. All of us know how important it is, for example, CERN, to be able to be there and work. So George wanted to have here in a fantastic environment, this possibility of coming, maybe give a lecture or something, but at the same time to do work. And for that, of course, you need to have a space. So eventually, Mohopu was found, and after many efforts, George obtained the necessary funds. I'm very happy that these buildings are to be inaugurated. I really hope, I don't know what is necessary to do to share that, but I think from hearing the local authorities and my intuition, I feel that it's going to happen, that these buildings that were just finished will be used primarily for the purpose of having a place where people could come and work and so on. At the same time, continue the schools and so on. Okay. So this will be a crucial step, towards the realization of George's dream of having an institute, a real institute in Corfu. So at present, now in a very private thing. At present, our group in Lisbon has a strong connection with George's group. Always had some connection, but at the moment, we have a recent former PhD student of his, Gregory Patelis, has a postdoc position with us in Lisbon. So it helps to straighten and strengthen the relationship between our two groups. Okay. Last words is thank you, George. I think that everyone has benefited a lot from your contributions, your perseverance, towards this beautiful goal. Okay. Yes.
Thank you very much, Gustavo. So the next speaker and a member of the organizing committee is Professor Rebelo.
It's not the beginning.
Like for that.
So it's a great pleasure to be here to honor our great friend. Thank you, George Zoupanos, who has been organizing these Corfu meetings since 41 years. My first time here was later, but these are some moments, pleasant moments. So the organizing committee of GeorgeFest is the three of us who are here: Gustavo Branco, myself, Jan Kalinowski, and myself, and three other members who are remotely: Athanasius Fargi Tavavratidis, Alex Kehagias, and Dieter Lust. This fest is long overdue, and there were previous attempts. In 2019 was the first attempt by a smaller set of the committee. It failed due to unforeseen reasons, and the organizers of this first attempt were exactly those that are not present here today. And then in 2020, this bigger committee started thinking about having a fest, but the COVID pandemic forced to cancel all in-person meetings, so it was not possible. And in 2021, it was impossible to plan because we did not know if people would be allowed to be here, and it does not make sense to have such a celebration without being in person. 2022 was a sad year. We had memorial events, and we could not have this festivity at the same time. So finally, 2023. So throughout his life, George made important contributions to physics, but I'm not one of his collaborators. So there will be many talks in the fest by collaborators of George, and that will talk about these contributions. But I can also say that George trained several graduate students who followed successful careers, for instance, and he was a fellow at CERN and still keeps a strong connection to CERN. So whenever I would go to CERN, especially in the summer, I would always meet George there. And I know he also has a very strong connection to Germany, but I'm not going to talk about these aspects. Then George has been instrumental in making Corfu well known internationally as a venue for a series of very successful international schools and workshops. They started 41 years ago. They required a lot of hard work and tenacity. Things are not easy sometimes. They brought to Corfu many thousands of physicists along the years, and their families in some cases. And of course, they also made propaganda about Corfu. So this was also made Corfu very much visible. Financial support from EU, cost actions, these other sources, I mean, the other programs from the EU. I think Ubuntu has been crucial, and this is not a full list. And the new office space in Montrepos was financed by dedicated funds, and we hope that it will be ready soon. My first participation in Corfu, first time I came, was the South European School on Elementary Particle Physics and the Corfu Summer Institute. So this was the 6th Hellenic School. And here is the program. Then if you see the transparency, you can zoom it. They are very well-known colleagues of ours, Guido Altarelli, Petronzio, many more. And it finishes here with Braut. So Braut gave these ups here. I have fond memories of this meeting, and I'm going to mention some. So then I got acquainted for the first time to the famous George coupons. So the yellow ones are from that event. They were the reception and the dinner, but a new currency was introduced at that time. They were coupons to go to the restaurant, and the support for the students in particular that we nominated the Zoupanos. I have no sample available because I spent all of them. So there were restaurants, like maybe nowadays, but that was more emphasized, that would offer discounts and would also accept the coupons. And I got to like very much Tenedos. Now I like Muralla, but at that time I was not familiar with it. So, and this is written in pencil, not worthwhile. So, and then there was his notice. The above discount is on the list prices. Please check the bill that they have really applied it. So this is Tenedos. These are the owners of Tenedos. And I used to go there frequently with these Zoupanos. And one day we were sitting outside with a colleague, Spanish colleague who had who had got a postdoctoral position in Greece. And his wife learned some Greek. We didn't speak Greek, but his wife could understand some Greek because he accompanied him and had started learning. And we were hearing them. The woman was shouting, arguing with her husband. And she said to us, the wife of our colleague, she's telling, these are not good customers. They only eat, they don't buy drinks. So we were young, of course, we didn't have much money. So now I'm going to show some pictures. Apart from physics, which was the main component, it's not, we cannot read here, but there was a lot of hospitality from George. He tried to make our life very agreeable. And so there is the famous boat trip that is taking place most of the years. And also the invitation for dinners at Egli for the invited speakers and the Greek nights. So here is boat on the way to the beach, and George the swimmer, and the year is 2019, I think. It's written there, you can see in the transparencies. This is arrival to the beach, not the same year, 2015, they are different years. And then after swimming, here, we are already in the boat after swimming and eating in the beach, because in that time we could eat in the beach. It seems that nowadays one has to eat on the boat. So dinner at Egli 2015, and you see this looks like a very long table because it's taken in such a way that it catches the other one. And and yesterday Kiko Butella gave me the picture from this year, one picture. And again, there is this idea that it's a huge table. So this is in 2023. Now the Greek nights, and here is George the dancer. I showed already one in the first transparency. This is 2012. This is 2019. And another one. And George is also concerned for humanity. There was a group of people, an association at CERN, Concerned Physicists for Humanity, and you can see. Yes, yes, and it was forbidden afterwards, because now with these new rules that you should not say things that may upset other people, you cannot talk about politics, because not everybody shares your political views. You cannot talk about anything except physics or things that are consensual. So in 2003, There was a demonstration in Bern in February against the war, and you see here George, and in fact I'm here, and many other colleagues from CERN. So here is George with Ahmed Ali, and another one with me. So many talks in this fest by the George collaborators will emphasize his contributions to physics. Now I cite a sentence that is in the page. George has been the brain, heart, and soul of the Corfu meeting since 1982. It required hard work, resilience in face of the many difficulties, a lot of creativity to solve practical problems, strong determination, tenacity. I could not emphasize it more, but it should be. So, George, you also made many friends who support and admire you. And we await with great expectation the inauguration of the new installations of the Corfu Institute in Montreal. So long live Corfu Institute and its tradition.
Thank you very much, Guy, for your nice and warm words. So I think we may proceed with Professor Franco Buccella. Here.
Here. George gave important contribution for the standard model by calculating the masses of the last two particles to be discovered. This is very important. And now he promotes the collaboration between particle physics, astrophysics, and cosmology, which is a necessary ingredient in order to go beyond the standard model. The brilliant seminar by Gregory and Miriam showed that it's still active in physics. This is very good. Despite its name begins with Z, like Zikiki, we is proud to say that Irish school is an anti-democratic school. George tries to make his school as more democratic as possible. Also, it's very clever to have established a good relationship with CERN, which sends the exponents for these important experiments, and which, due to the new machine which has, is the most important place for experimental particle physics. I think that if he will succeed to make what he wants, to bring culture in Kerkira, in Corfu, then Greece, this will help Greece to become again, as it was about more than 20 centuries ago, the source of the European civilization. No one should forget that democracy has been invented in this country. Let me finish because I find some analogy from this school and Ilias by Homero. Greek people, in order to go to Troy because the winds were opposite, then had to make the sacrifice of Iphigenia. Then this sacrifice luckily was not done because at the end some divinity saved her, but it was a sacrifice. So also here there is something similar, γιατί η τελεία της Ιφηγενείας είναι πολύ δύσκολο. Scusami.
Thank you very much. So I think we can proceed with Belen Gavela.
Yes. So thank you very much for inviting me to speak also here. And what I will present, I will gather some photos. Most of them are mine, but some others are from Graciela Gelmini and Jose Ramon Espinosa, etc. And they gave me, Graciela, part of their time. So I am going to make a point about the role of George building a community and what that means. Yeah. So why are we here in person right now this year? Overcoming that dreadful two-dimensional world with Zoom that we went through. So what we get is, for sure, physics information, but that in fact you can get from a screen. The seminars are very clear. But what you don't get, what we have learned thoroughly, is that doing research and new ideas come very much of the rest. And the rest meaning the informal scientific in-person exchanges that you have at the coffee break or around the talk. And all what that is conveyed by physically somebody talking to you. And of course, we come also for this is intercepted with the in-person human exchange, and they help very much by the beauty of nature surrounding you. Okay. So this is my understanding of why are we here, not following this two-dimensional. And so it's to share this feeling of community. So we fight internally, like in any family, etc. But we are a community of crazy people trying to understand, still trying to understand passionately what is the world about, what are things made of. So an important step in the beginnings of these careers, this path, I think we share with George several here, is the School of Les Sous 81 connected to Corfu 23. And so this was a school organized by Marie-Kay Gaillard and Raymond Estorà. And here is the poster. And I will show you some photographs. First, this is not very clear, there will be more clear ones. The students there. So there are several people you can see here. For instance, let's see. I think you don't see, this is Graciela Gelmini, this is me, that's Sally Dawson, that's Enrique Alvarez, and there are several people here. And this is towards the end of the school. By the way, I mentioned several women. In passing, I would say that Estorà and Marie-Kay were pioneers in fostering gender equity. In those times, there were 6 female students out of 51. That was remarkable. And if you look at most of them, you will see some. They are leaders that keep driving the field. Okay, so besides that, let's look for George here. Where is George? Where is George? I don't know if you can see it. Here. What happened to him is that the students kept decorating during the school. This was towards the end, you know, putting these hats, this and that. And to him, they decorated with this. I don't know if you can see it, but I will not say anything in favor of political correctness. So let's look at the pictures. The lecturers were Julius Bessa, Haraida, John Ellis, Coleman, John Wick, Leo Lederman, Chris Quick. And I ask for leniency with what the passage of time has done to them and to us. So this is Estorà, Raymond Estorà, and here Marie-Kay Gaillard. And even there, it was a very family for many people contribution. So for instance, this is one of the sons of Marie-Kay. Oh, sorry. This is Julius Bess at the time. Chris Quick, believe it or not, here. John Wick. Leo Lederman, there teaching us in that room. But then there were the extra lecturers. This school didn't have much time to work. I mean, many hours of class. And then there were a series of people. You will see what people that also taught us a lot. For instance, Bruno Sumino. Here are some slides of Bruno. I don't know if you remember, George, teaching us, right? And this is Vicky Weisskopf. He also showed there. And T.D. Lee appeared on the school. This is T.D. Lee, 81. This is others like Richard Brower. Okay, and others, I don't have the pictures. Well, I remember one with a special deal, which was Singer, the singer of Atilla Singer, that appeared with his whole family in a band, beautiful children and young women, etc. And he was like magic. He would also teach, and there would be a cat jumping over the table, and he would caress the cat and teach. He was fantastic. So now the students, first student, this, you know, George Zoupanos, 81. He looks very serious. I mean, he already has this gravitas that comes to him, and I will not qualify historically with all the Greek influence in history, but even if he looks serious, look at the tingling in his eyes. You already see his look there. So, okay, this is a picture of the school. Here you don't see much. I see Ronald Kleiss. I think this is my set, but here you don't see much. This is the official one. And here is, for instance, Louis Fayard sitting there. Where is Louis? There. This is Louis Fayard. I recognize Vadim Kaplunovsky. This is Leo Lederman. Let's see, I think Petkov is around. John Ellis, Graciela, who is there, Graciela Gelmini, John Bagger, Anna Hasenfratz. I think Estora is down there. Maybe that's me, but I'm not sure. And here in the center, we have two bodies that became very important in this school, which are Ronald Kleiss and George Zoupanos. Let's look at them closer. This is Ronald. Look at the beautiful picture I have around there. And another one that played a lot of role in the students is Alexander Sack. As far as we know, is the only one who died of that bunch in a tragic accident years later. But all the others mainly remain passionate about physics and active. This is Sally Dawson, okay, in that school. Here is Anna Hasenfratz, and I don't remember who, George, maybe you will help me later. This looks like Bruce Campbell, but I don't think he was there, so I don't know who he was. Again, for this one. And who is this person? Where is she? She's not here? See, she's there sitting. So Graciela Gelmini hiding, but she cannot hide. Look at my camera. That's a beautiful photograph, isn't it? Right? And here again with somebody else, which I don't know exactly who this is. I don't think it's Klinghammer, although he was there. And that's John Bagger. In this school, we have John Bagger. Again here, the same, with Sally Dawson there. This is the outside of the school. And there was Julius Bess, as I said, and it was in this school that Jonathan Bagger was taking the notes of the classes of Julius Bess, and the book that many of us have used of Bess and Bagger came from that school. So these are the students eating. You recognize several here. Here is Eyal Cohen, so the hair of Louis Fayard there, Bruno Maché, others. Sunil Mukhi, this I don't remember. These two, I don't remember the names either of students. And of course, George, very concentrated, eating also in that school. Okay, important event. Okay, this is me. I look very serious or sad, but we were happy. I mean, we were happy even if we didn't know there. We worked a lot. This is with Sergei Petkov. So Petkov here, look at him. Beautiful, right? Beautiful photograph. And here is Petkov with Ronald Kleiss. And here playing with Estora. Estora played a lot of ping pong, of the table tennis. Okay, there, more and more, and I have more of Estora, but I left them home. This is Petkov with John Ellis here. Look at John, who was also one of the professors. And here, what do we have? I recuperated Richard Blauer with Bruno Sumino, and I don't know who is this one in the middle. Leo with Bryce DeWitt. Bryce DeWitt also came. You see the people who have left an imprint on us. And then the students. Here is Alexander Sachs helping with the photocopies. You know, in those days, no computers, whatever, and it was important to make photocopies of everyday lectures and share among the students so that we would study. And the students started taking over. And they were passionate students. There were people, well, like George, immediately discussing physics like if life was part of it. So the students, as there was a lot of time, start teaching each other. This is Alexander Sachs doing that. This is Sergei. We brought the outside the blackboards, and there we are teaching each other things. And then I come to an important role besides the physics, which is George Zoupanos' den, I call it. So from the first day, that's why I wanted to make the link. He prompted all the rest of the exchange. There, of course, he didn't choose the speakers, but all the rest. So he would come every day and make a collect of money to go and buy drinks for the important event of the night, which was a party and dancing every night. So this was, look at these curtains. This is in the lower floor in almost semi-basement. And there were some things to, some cards, but he transformed that. And here is making a fire every night, Ronald lighting it. And here is George and Ronald conspiring about what was the next event or party behind. So people play cards, of course, but also discuss, who I do see here, Richard and Anna Hasselflatz. This is, look at the glasses. Start from here. In this den, there were always glasses in your hand. This is John Ellis with George, conferring. Here, Louis Fayard having a great time with Olivier Napoli. This is Patty McBride, who is now the spokesperson of CMS. So with Julius Best there. I don't know who is this guy. I think it's Klinghammer, but I'm not sure. And this is Jan Govers from Belgium. Ejal Cohen again, and Zoupanos bottles always around. Here in this picture, in the back, you see Kaplunovsky. And this guy, he was fantastic. This guy was obsessed with monopoles. This is Pasquale Sodano. So you would talk to him, even in the day, even having a party, and the first sentence would be c'è un monopolo, which means take a monopole. And from there would follow a flow of things, right? Okay, and in the back of them, you can see Eyal, Graciela, and Louis Fayard here. This is me then, believe it or not, with Marie K. Gaillard. Okay, we are in the den, you see. So also the professors came around. Enrique Alvarez, again, Zoupanos always overviewing and present, of course. These guys, I don't remember who they were. None of them, the three students. This is Mercedes Ellis. And here is John Ellis offering wine to Graciela. Okay, look at that. Sally Dawson also participating in the celebrations. And here in the den, Cindy Coleman, who was a teacher with another of our visitors, David Schramm. Okay, this is. Now, to conclude this part, I retake this photo to focus on this here. Let me do a zoom. I almost bet this is handwriting by George Zoupanos, where it says, tonight there will be yet another big party. And that was every day. And then there is this thing here, I don't know, written by him or whoever, who transformed an announcement saying, anybody who wishes to hijack the Saint Boss and divert it to the Côte d'Azur, see Jonathan Bagger. Okay, so this was the spirit of the school, and we had really a lot of fun. George did dance over the tables. You were there. I have photographs I have not found of you dancing over the tables in the downstairs. Then I will try to find it for next time. This is a more recent photograph. So all of that was Les Souches, but we are talking 81, and now this is 1992. The fourth Hellenic school, or what we heard, he started creating things here, and here he comes dancing. Now we were older. I was also coming here as to teach or whatever. And this photo has been given by one student who is Jose Ramon Espinosa. And so organizing already, George, the most fruitful community events. All this happened in the beauty of nature. So that was amazing, as it is here. Cities in Corfu, but look also at this. So there was, this is the surrounding, Les Arrêts de Rochefort. This is on our way somewhere. The students went out. For instance, this is Jonathan Bagger, excursions surrounding it. The same we go in Corfu for excursions. And this was an important person, the school guide and the daughter that was always with us, very nice. And they would take 2 or 3 students each time to do these mountains. So of course here I don't have global, I only have my own photographs, So I only went, okay, here they are, both of them. I think we were going to the Mont Blanc d'Itacure with Bruno Marché here, and this is myself, and we are going up, etc. But okay, I stop here. There are more photos in the backup. You can look at them from the website. This was incredibly beautiful as it is Corfu, which is a magic island that keeps dazzling me. So in that sense, I think that George maybe have learned, or not learned, already there was organizing that, helping us to communicate, not only in physics, and he has kept doing that as we saw down to today. So I want to thank you very much, dear George, for both your scientific and your human role, and I heard now also activist, I didn't know, congratulations, in building up that is this community. And many congratulations today for your scientific achievements and the best wishes for those ahead. And please keep herding us around you. That's it.
Thank you very much, Danny, for your nice words. And I think now it's time to proceed with Graciela Gelmini.
Yeah, I don't have pretty pictures, so. That's okay. I don't think I will be for a very long time. So I just prepared a few words, actually, not pictures, because I gave all my pictures, so we don't repeat. So I thought that I had met Georgos at the Lesuche school, but actually he corrected me a few nights ago when we were having dinner, and he said that we met a few months earlier. I was working for my thesis at Munich at the Ludwig Maximilian University in the group of Harald Fritsch. Harald Fritsch had gone there in 1979, a few years before, and he remembers, because actually he was he came for a seminar, but also applying for a job, it seems to be, so he remembered more than me, but sincerely it was very brief. But I just remember him very well from the school. That was amazing. The amount of people that have continued being relevant in physics from that school is, to me, was, I didn't appreciate at the time, that was a generation marking event, the school, actually. A few years later, I had the fortune, actually, of being together with him a fellow at CERN. We were simultaneously fellows at CERN. And to me, it was unbelievable the dedication that this man had to do physics. And, it was difficult for some of us. The ways are sort of meandering towards succeeding, but he had a lot of drive. When he arrived at CERN as a fellow, he had just been father a little bit before, and he left this newly born, actually, and his wife deserves a lot of credit, actually, but it was amazing to me that he would be so dedicated, that it was, he was there because of his drive for physics, and because it was the best situation that he could have. This dedication was amazing. So we actually collaborated because he had been interested in horizontal symmetries, gauge horizontal symmetries, CP violation, and so on. And I had been interested in global symmetries, spontaneously broken global symmetries that, of course, then generate Goldstone bosons, pseudo-Goldstone bosons. And we collaborated. We have a paper together with Stomo Yanagira, who has been, well, for a very long time at APMU in Tokyo, and now also at the TD Lee center in Shanghai. And Jean-Marc Gerard, who was there, then immediately after, he was also a postdoc, Jean-Marc Gerard, and he's in Louvain. And so we have the paper together. And then as I tell always as a joke, repeated joke, whenever I go to CERN, in my sparse sample, I think George lives at CERN, because every time I go to CERN, he is there. So this is the problem with sparse sampling, but actually I find him very, very often. And it's always a pleasure to see him. This is a fantastic place. This is the first time I come. And I really appreciate the effort that this took and is taking. And I hope that he will succeed in making this a more of a residential place in which people can come and work too. In this case, I think it will be a little bit more similar to what I know, which is Aspen, a fantastically successful place where people can go and work besides being at the lectures and so on and so forth. So I hope he will succeed in doing that. Finally, I wrote how I would describe George, and I think that the first thing is kindness. George is an enormously kind person. Kindness, perseverance, dedication, and an enormous drive to do physics and to build something. And he is succeeding, and I hope he will continue in this way, and that this will persist. I think it will. This place is mature enough that it will persist. So thank you very much, George, for being a good friend of mine for so long. Thank you.